Greetings, Don Alexander here with Gene Coda, Executive and Professional Search. If you haven't yet had the opportunity to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please go ahead and do so now. In our Candidate Tip series, we're going to be offering up guidance on how to land your next great job. In our 5th episode, we'll be discussing a process for avoiding the resume black hole, Part 1. There's some rather good informational assets to be found on LinkedIn in regards to writing resumes that catch attention. There's also a really good idea by Liz Ryan on the idea of how to author a pain letter. However, I still regularly field calls from candidates concerned that they aren't getting traction with resume submissions to companies, also known as the resume black hole. Let me make a few starting assumptions. First, your resume and track record is strong. If you don't have a strong track record or your resume is weak, start there and come back to this video later on. Second, the assumption is that your background, skill sets, and personal characteristics align well with the job for which you're applying. If they don't match the principal elements of the role, you're wasting your time. Finally, I'm assuming that there is an actual job requirement, such as an online post. Informational interviews and skating to where the puck's going to be are very good ideas, but if there's no near-term need, it becomes obvious why things aren't progressing. People with whom I speak routinely ask whether they should apply online, and the resounding answer is yes. The ATS, or Applicant Tracking System, entry is a requirement for most companies for legal and tracking reasons. The ATS is not your enemy, although the process of data entry can be rather cumbersome. That said, if all you're doing is applying online, you're missing the boat. Liz Ryan highlights methods to figure out who hiring managers are. In addition, you may know people at a given employer. If not, you must endeavor to find connections who are employed at the company and who might champion your candidacy. I learned early on in my career to get a coach and catch a break. Even if your connection isn't in the same department, they may be willing to help you navigate. After all, they may get a referral bonus if you get hired. Don't limit yourself to contacting the hiring manager or a recruiter directly. If you can get a referral to introduce you, or better yet, if more than one person becomes a referral source, this can be a powerful prescription to crack doors open. In regards to follow-up, there are articles that indicate it takes 7 or more touches to make a sale. My feeling is that, although getting a new job is making a sale, 7 may be too many touches in most cases. The reason is that a professional salesperson will typically do more than one deal over time with a company, whereas the hiring process typically results in a one-time sale. Irrespective of the number of attempts, the idea is being pleasantly persistent, but not crossing the line to becoming a nuisance. Timing is also important, as is frequency and the type of follow-up. Think about potential demographic preferences as well. If your hiring manager, for example, is around my age, they may prefer a follow-up email or telephone call versus a text message. I find people's communication patterns can also be different than what their demographics suggest, so try different forms of communication, written, email, telephone, etc., and mix it up. Thanks for being with us here today. In Part 2, we'll go through a real-life example of what we've discussed here in Part 1. To access this and content pertinent to your search, check out our blog post on the link below.